Viewers, in a brazen display of audacity, Iran has attempted to lecture India on Islamophobia, despite its own abysmal human rights record. Viewers, this is a staggering example of hypocrisy coming from a regime notorious for its brutal suppression of dissent, systematic persecution of minorities, and medieval treatment of women, and Muslim women at that. The tragic case of Mahsa Amini, brutally killed by Iran's morality police for improper hijab, is still seared into our collective consciousness. Yet Iran has the temerity to point fingers at India, pretending to care about the welfare of Muslims. This is an outrageous travesty, viewers, and the international community must unequivocally condemn Iran's duplicity. Iran's human rights abuses are well documented, and I don't want to waste your time listing them out here. But viewers, opposition leaders in India and an ecosystem are shamefully complicit in peddling Iran's propaganda. By endorsing this false narrative, they've undermined national interest. This is a betrayal of the highest order, viewers. Their actions are a slap in face of Mahsa Amini's memory and the countless victims of Iran's brutality.
देखिए, ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि आज भारत के सेकुलरिज्म और सेकुलर इतिहास पे विदेशी मुल्क भी जो प्रश्न उठा रहे हैं, जिस किस्म का वातावरण देश के अंदर बना, जिस किस्म के भाषण और जिस तरह की बातें की जाती हैं धर्म के बुनियाद पे, उसकी वजह से आज देश की मैं समझता हूँ कि बदनामी हो रही है।
हाँ, बिल्कुल उन्होंने दुरुस्त कहा है कि एक वक्त था कि इंडिया के अंदर इस तरह की बात नहीं होती थी। 2010-2014 के बाद जब से बीजेपी हुकूमत आई है, तो जो हालात बने हुए हैं इंडिया के अंदर, मॉब लीचिंग हो रही है, जानवर लेके कोई चलता है उसको कत्ल किया जाता है, बुलडोज़र चलाए जाते हैं मुसलमानों के घरों के ऊपर।
ये कहीं ना कहीं साजिश है हिंदुस्तान को बदनाम करने की। इसमें कांग्रेस के नेता राहुल गांधी का भी हाथ हो सकता है और समय समय पर भारत को बदनाम करने के लिए इस प्रकार की जो बातें हैं किए जाते हैं। मैं कड़ी निंदा करता हूं और जितनी भी इसकी निंदा की जाए कम है।
You heard the reactions. Let's quickly open this up. Subohi Khan, national convener of the Rashtra Jagran Abhiyan. Ishtaran continues with us. We have Mursal Nurzai, activist and deputy chair, Lady in Jung Union Christian Social Union, Germany. Atikur Rahman, political analyst, Vivek Srivastav, Kamruzaman Chaudhary ji, stay on. I want to start by asking Ms. Nurzai, can Iran even lecture on human rights? Should it be preaching the world on the condition of Muslims when its moral police on a daily basis persecutes and assaults Muslim women?
Thank you for having me. I think we do live in a world where democracy doesn't work anymore, where UN laws and regulations are not being followed and women rights are not being given. I think for Iran to put up a statement like that is a very attraction-seeking statement. I know that in Iran, the ethnic and religious minorities often face discrimination and marginalization. There are groups such as the Kurds, the Balochs, the Arabs, and Azeris. Other groups, other religious groups such as the Baha'is, the Christians, the Sunni Muslims experience limited access to the political representation, education, employment opportunities. Their government imposes strict culture and linguistic isolation on policies for those groups. The minority languages, some of those ethnicities, they are not even allowed to speak their own languages. There are cultural expressions. The religious minorities, particularly the Baha'is, face prosecutions, including the denial of civil rights and imprisonment. So despite all these constitution problems, inequality, the systematic discrimination
Right.
against many groups there. For Iran to put a statement like that, for me, is very
Is a bit too rich.
immature.
I
Yes.
get that. Vivek Srivastav, how do you see this comment from Khomeini
Yeah.
saying Muslims are suffering in India?
You see, now there are two things, and both the things are unrelated. Number one, where Iran stands today after the Cultural Revolution. What was the Cultural Revolution? How many refugees came and settled in our country? That is one truth. And persecution of the minorities and suppression over there, another truth. However, the human rights record in India is a different story. And our supporting the Israelis via the weapons and by sending our workforce over there and backing out of the cause of Palestine, which was supported by government after government since 1947.
No, we haven't backed out. No, 1 minute. Don't mislead people. No, 1 minute. Vivek Srivastav, don't peddle half truths here, please.
Yes.
Don't peddle half
Yes,
truths here.
yes.
There is no backtracking on that.
Yeah. Let me.
No. 1 minute. Do you endorse this comment that
backtracking?
Muslims are
Jai
suffering in
Palestine
India
is-
by saying this? Iran has sought to bracket India with Gaza. Where are Muslims persecuted, in India or in China?
No, I mean, you do have. No. Where does China come in picture? You
Of
have
course.
a bad human records.
Millions of Muslims are persecuted.
Muslims and the minorities
Uyghur
in India.
Muslims are
Since
persecuted,
2014.
sir. Vivek
Since
Srivastav, here's how
2014.
China comes into the picture.
No, this is India and I'm sitting in Delhi. No, don't come to China, come
Are
to
you,
Haridwar.
why should we not talk about China? Why should we not talk about China? Vivek Srivastav, what is the problem? Why should we not talk about China? Why should we not talk about China, Vivek Srivastav? What is the problem? Why will you not condemn the persecution of Muslims in China? What is the problem? Why can't you get yourself to take a stand against Muslims who are suffering? Millions of Muslims that are suffering in detention camps across China. But you will never condemn it. You will never condemn it because it suits your political interest, Vivek Srivastav. You see, this is the double standard I was talking about.
Absolutely not, sir.
It is, sir. Why are you so worked up? The moment I talk about
So
China,
breaking a
Vivek
Muslim-
Srivastav,
breaking
why
a
are you
masjid
so
in
worked up?
Himachal, breaking a masjid in Himachal.
Breaking a masjid? Who broke a masjid?
I'm not worked up, I'm smiling.
Who
I'm
broke a
talking to you.
masjid?
American propaganda
You are
is
lying.
lying.
You are lying on national
मैं तो
television.
भाई
Vivek
इंडिया की बात
Srivastav, who
करूंगा
broke a
ना।
masjid in
जंतर
Himachal?
मंतर
Who
पे-
broke a masjid in
जंतर
Himachal?
मंतर पे
1
नारे
minute.
किसने
What
लगाए?
did you say?
जंतर मंतर
Don't
पे नारे
mislead.
किसने
Who
लगाए?
broke a who broke a masjid in Himachal Pradesh?
मस्जिद-
Apologize.
मस्जिद को किसने
Apologize. No one
घेरा?
broke a
मस्जिद को किसने
mandir.
घेरा?
No, 1 minute.
हनुमान चालीसा
No
किसने
one
पढ़ी?
broke a masjid in Himachal Pradesh. Vivek Srivastav,
Nobody has-
stop
they have
peddling
not
lies.
broken- they have
Stop
not
peddling
broken-
lies.
they have not broken a masjid.
Kamruzaman
Nobody
Chaudhary,
has broken a
Kamruzaman
masjid.
Chaudhary ji,
Nobody
how
has
are you so
broken a masjid.
silent? He's accusing the Congress government in Himachal Pradesh of breaking a mosque.
Pranesh, if you let me permit 2 minutes of the time, I'll just finish off my arguments out here. I don't want to miss the woods for the trees out here with regards to context of Iranian statement with regards to the treatment of minorities in Assam, in India. Rather, I see the state is being used as an instrument, using legislation after legislation, using bulldozers as an instrument of state policy to subjugate the minorities in India, rather the Muslim community in India, into second-class citizens. Do I need to cite some specific examples? What happened in Kanpur with Afrin Fatima's house? Do I need to see how many cow mob lynchings have been held? Do I need to cite all those legislation and
Please cite.
executive orders
No,
being
please
brought
cite.
out in
And
Uttar
then I
Pradesh,
will call out the
Uttarakhand, or in
hypocrisy
Assam?
because 1 minute, as far as lynchings are concerned, Hindus have been lynched too. Don't make this about Hindu-Muslim Kamruzaman Chaudhary, and bulldozer action is
Don't
not just
be-
specific to one community.
This is not a
And there you, 1
Hindu-Muslim.
minute, sir, and 1 minute, look inwards Kamruzaman Chaudhary and look at what is happening in Telangana by the Congress government. So the bulldozer model, if you have to condemn, then be even-handed. Condemn the bulldozer action by the Telangana government. But that's not the point. The point is, would you allow a
Point is
human
that
right
only.
abuser,
Pranesh, the
a
point
country
is
like
that only.
Iran,
You have-
that suppresses
you have
human
said
rights
got in
by the
Lakshmi.
minute
You
to
have
lecture
said
India
Uttarakhand.
on 1 minute, sir, on minorities? Will you allow that?
Listen, when India interferes in the internal happenings in Bangladesh, what's happening recently to the Babs Mandir in USA, what's happening with Hindus in Canada,
Yes,
or in
India is
Leicester,
to be blamed.
or in Australia, then Indian governments can interfere.
How has India
can be
interfered in
because
Bangladesh
that is the
by speaking
Hindu
for
Ummah.
Hindus? By
And
speaking for Hindus that are persecuted in Bangladesh, India is interfering. Are you blind to? No. Are you?
That's
Can
a
you
lie.
not see? 1 minute,
That's
sir.
a lie. The WhatsApp. That's a lie coming from the WhatsApp and the ISKCON ecosystem of Bangladesh.
Oh,
You
so
go to
there is no
Bangladesh. Why
persecution
is-
of Hindus.
when
Hindus
Mr.
were not
Yunus has
targeted.
called for
Oh, there
the
you go. Hindus
reporters
were
to
not
come to
targeted in Bangladesh. Ishtaran.
Why didn't you send your reporter
Ishtaran.
to Bangladesh?
Yes, may I? Yeah, it's a question to me now, and it's a very serious topic. It is the misfortune of India that even if a regime as despicable, as bigoted as Iran comments adversely on India, there are people who try to justify it. Iran, which has no human rights, Iran, which has no minority rights, Iran, which has no woman rights, is lecturing India, and there are people who are trying to draw parallels and justify it. But that has been misfortune of India for last 1,000 years, so it's not a new thing. We have to live with it, and we have to grow stronger and face it. The second aspect of it is, please understand, Islam is a global majority religion. Hinduism is a global minority religion, and there are people who denied the genocide of Hindus in Kashmir, and they kept denying it even though there was a genocide which was happening, which was documented, where the calls given in that area for women, for Kashmiri Pandits, for Sikhs, for Buddhists are well documented. So they denied that. Similarly, those same people are denying what is happening to Hindus in Bangladesh because that does not support their global narrative. The unfortunate part, and in this I speak, that unfortunate part is that India is not doing enough in Bangladesh. We are allowing the cricket team of Bangladesh to come here. We should have boycotted it. We should have brought more pressure to bear on Bangladesh. That would have been a better course of action. But what Iran has said, only, and I have no qualms in saying, a regime like Iran will only be supported by those people who will find any excuse to attack India and build a narrative against India. And it is our misfortune that we have certain people like that in India.
And by saying this, Kamruzaman Chaudhary is only vindicating a journalist who was allegedly assaulted for asking a question on Bangladesh. It's all documented. You can Google and read it up, Mr. Chaudhary, if you don't know about it already. Subuhi Khan, what do you make of this ecosystem that is, lapping up the lies peddled by Iran?
Yeah. Thank you so much for getting me into this important debate. First of all, I want to make some very important points clear to put the records straight. And these points are of common sense, which is unfortunately not so common these days. First of all, Indian Muslims are not minorities. We have to shout it out loud that we are not minority in India. In India, Muslims are 20 crore, 30 crore. We are the second largest majority, not minority. Secondly, my name is Subuhi Khan. I am an Indian Muslim woman and I am not tolerated but celebrated in my country. And it is evident by how we are being respected in every field. We have access to every opportunity and we have been given equal opportunities and equal rights just like any other citizen. Thirdly, my country has a history of, forget persecution, never even disrespecting anybody's religious beliefs. And we have a huge glaring example of Jews. They were persecuted throughout the world but not in India. When they were finally settled in their country, in their first parliamentary session, they mentioned it that we were safe and secure in India and we were never persecuted there. Last but not the least, Bharat or India is a commonwealth of all modes of worship. We have hundreds of gods, different manifestations of that universal consciousness in different forms, shapes, sizes, colors, attributes.
Right.
There is no way that we have any kind of disrespect for anybody's religious belief. So this is a kind of narrative which is deliberately being created against Bharat.
Atikur Rahman,
It is
I have
very
a simple
laughable
question
that
to
this
ask of you.
statement has-
Atikur Rahman, who tortured and killed Mahsa Amini in Nagpur? Answer that question.
Yeah, it was Iran and its regime which killed her, which was bad.
Why did they kill her, sir?
Now, may I come on the point of the debate?
This is the point, sir. This is the point of the debate.
Yeah, because of their parochial mindset. Because of their parochial mindset, and I had at that moment I had supported Mahisa Amini, saying that what she was asking for, it was within her rights. She could have granted by the Iranian regime.
But what did the Iranians do? They did not grant her wish. They granted her death.
Yes.
And yet we will stand with Iran.
Exactly. Exactly. And we should condemn. We should condemn it. Now, may I come to my point of view regarding this, Pranesh?
Please, sir.
Pranesh, I have some strengths in India as an Indian Muslim. The first strength of mine is the Constitution of India. The second is the judiciary in India. The third is my Hindu friends, not Hindutva. Fourth is the editorials of all the national dailies. These are my strengths. The least I would expect is any foreign country to take up my cause. I am within my rights to take up my cause with my government. Be them any harsh on the Muslims of India.
Right.
But I am equipped myself to deal with my case.
Thank
I
you
do
for
not
at least
need
saying
any
so.
support of any foreign
Atikur
country.
Rahman, I salute you for at least saying so. Takes a lot to say that on national television and break ranks from this ecosystem that fumes at the mere mention of China. We've run out of time. I thank all of you for joining us on India Front. The news hour with Navita Kumar on the other side.